me ask you a question. Have you ever spent an entire day reading about attacks on immigrants, trans people, voting rights, climate, all about corruption and authoritarianism, and then gone to bed feeling like you accomplished absolutely nothing? You followed the news, you stayed informed, you paid attention, you cared, and yet somehow you still feel powerless. If that's you, I want to suggest something that may completely change how you view your role in this critical moment. The problem is not that you're powerless in the face of all this terror and harm. The problem is that your power is scattered, and that distinction matters more than you may realize. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to fix it. Before we dive in, if you're someone who knows that you're here to make a bigger difference, but you're struggling with where to focus your time, your skills, your resources, and your energy to make a difference, you can apply for a complimentary consulting call with the Ripple Effect Institute at the link below. We'll walk you through those challenges and help you figure out the next best step for you. And please, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Every week, we offer support and resources here for people who are trying to make a difference in the face of fascism. You can click that subscribe button below. Now let's get into it. One of the most common things that we hear from people on those consulting calls I just mentioned goes something like this. I care about everything. Immigrants, reproductive rights, LGBTQ rights, climate, the big one, democracy, and going with that, voting rights. And then there's poverty and housing and public education and so much more. And all of these concerns are legitimate. Every single one of them matters. But what happens is that people who care often get trapped in a cycle where they're trying to respond to all of it at once. They donate here, they attend a rally there, they sign petitions, and they share content. And then they consume more news and more Substacks and more clickbait videos for the sake of quote unquote staying informed. And yet at the end of the day, they still feel incredibly frustrated because it feels like nothing has connected to actually create real change. Nothing feels strategic, and it certainly doesn't feel like it's building towards something larger. And eventually, if you stay in this place for too long, you start believing that the problem is that you don't actually have any real power. But that is usually not actually the real problem. Point 1, scattered energy feels like powerlessness. So I want you to imagine with me the experience of trying to dig 10 wells for water at the same time. You dig 1 foot over here and another foot over there, 3 feet over there, and 2 feet down somewhere else. You spend months working, you expend enormous effort, and yet somehow you never reach water. And it's not because the water isn't there, it's because you never stayed in one place long enough to actually reach it. Activism works in exactly the same way. And I'll let you in on a hint here. Most people don't fail to create change because they care too little. They fail because their energy is divided across too many competing issues. And their effort and their attention is spread so thin that they never actually stay in one place long enough to create meaningful results. And the end result of that is a feeling of helplessness. But I want to let you in on a little secret. Helplessness and powerlessness are not the same thing. A scattered person feels powerless because they never actually get to experience what real sustained effort can accomplish. And that's a very different problem from actual powerlessness. By the way, if this is resonating with you and you're realizing that you've spent months or even years reacting to things without actually building anything of substance, that's exactly the kind of challenge that we help people work through at the Ripple Effect Institute. We help people identify where they can have the biggest impact based on their skills, experience, values, and capacity, and then help them build something that makes a real, meaningful impact from there. If you'd like help figuring out your lane, the link to apply for a complimentary consulting call is below. Point 2, fascism wants you overwhelmed. Now let's talk about something really important in the context of this issue. Authoritarian movements benefit from overwhelm, not because overwhelm turns people into authoritarians, but because overwhelm makes people freeze. When every day brings a new outrage, a new crisis, a new attack on somebody's rights, a new threat to democracy writ large, your nervous system eventually starts believing that nothing that you do will matter. And I just want to tell you, that's not weakness. That's actually how human beings respond when they're flooded. And once people reach that point in the context of what we're living through every day right now, they often stop taking meaningful action altogether. Instead, they doom scroll, they argue online, they consume more information, and they become spectators to history instead of participants in it. And I'm here to tell you that one of the most important things that you can do in a moment like this is reclaim your own agency. Agency begins with focus. And it's not because other issues stop mattering. It's because focused action is how human beings regain a sense of power. And most importantly, it's how we remind ourselves that we are capable of changing outcomes. Point 3, why good people resist choosing. Now, here's where things get really interesting. One of the reasons why good people struggle to choose a focus is because they care so deeply. The obstacle to creating this focus isn't selfishness. It's actually, in some sense, an overwhelm of empathy. Because when you care so deeply about human suffering, choosing one cause can feel like you are abandoning all the others. I see this constantly in the people who come to work with us at the Ripple Effect Institute. Many of them say, okay, I really want to focus on immigrant defense work. But what about trans kids and reproductive rights and voting rights and housing and climate and education and healthcare and on and on and on it goes. And again, every one of these concerns is legitimate and valid. So when we suggest to people that a narrower focus will actually create greater impact, sometimes folks' nervous systems immediately push back. And the response is, but what about everything else? And that's where people get stuck, because they begin to believe that choosing one thing means they don't care about anything else. But that's simply not true. Choosing a focus is not about deciding what matters or who matters most. Choosing a focus is in fact about deciding where you are going to contribute. And those are two completely different things. You can care deeply about 10 different critical issues and devote your energy to changing one. In fact, that's how most meaningful change is actually created. And I'll just note for the record that the most successful movements in history were not built by people trying to change everything at once. They were actually built by people who chose to focus on one critical issue and devote their time and energy to that. And I'll let you in on a key secret here that most people don't even think about. Every single critical issue that we work on intersects with every other. So choosing a single lane is not going to mean that other issues are abandoned. It simply means that your energy and attention will be devoted to creating as much change as possible in one specific place. Point 4, what happens when you finally pick a lane? Okay, so now I've got to tell you about a very particular irony. People often think that choosing a focus for their change making will make them somehow feel trapped. But in reality, choosing that focus actually creates an enormous sense of freedom, because suddenly that endless internal debate about all the issues that are out there and all the things that need our help, that internal debate just stops. You stop waking up every morning asking yourself, what should I do about all this stuff? When you choose a focus, you already know. You stop trying to solve every single problem. You stop feeling guilty every single time a new headline appears. You stop measuring your worth by whether you've adequately responded to every crisis. And instead, you start building something. Maybe it's a mutual aid project. Maybe it's doing rapid response and immigrant defense work in your own community. Maybe it's doing work to help protect and create safe space for LGBTQ youth. Maybe you get to work on voter engagement for the next election. Maybe you join a tenant union to work on housing rights. Or maybe you simply get involved in local organizing on an issue in your own community that impacts people in need. But whatever it is, once you get involved in doing that work, you start to see actual results. Because results replace helplessness with actual evidence that we have the power to change the present and also to build a better future. You stop asking, am I making a difference? And you start asking, how can I make what I'm working on to improve things even bigger? That's a completely different psychological experience of the current moment. And that's also where momentum really begins. The people who change their own communities and who will build a better future are rarely the people who are paying attention to literally everything. They're instead the people who choose something, one particular issue, one impacted group of people, one area that they care about deeply to start creating real, measurable change. They choose a lane and they commit to it and they stay with it long enough to create actual results. And over time, those results compound, more people are helped, and we're all reminded that we're not powerless in the face of fascism. So if you've been feeling powerless lately in the face of all this harm, I want you to consider the possibility that the problem isn't that you lack power. The problem may be that your power is scattered across too many competing priorities for change. And the moment that you begin concentrating your efforts, you'll discover that you are far more capable of creating change than you ever might have imagined. And if you'd like help figuring out where your energy, experience, and skills can make the greatest impact right now, apply for a complimentary consulting call with us at the Ripple Effect Institute. We'd be honored to help you find your lane and start building something that really makes a difference. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.